Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, Jots, Kiati Mundikonets. We can't miss you guys as well. And of course, shout out to all the creepy looking plagues, people lurking in the shadows for reasons we may never know because of budget constraints. Welcome to today's video where we have so much important stuff to talk about. Today's technically your fourth notice. And if you don't do this, you are literally not going to be profiting this Conquest cycle. We got to talk about a few important Conquest updates that happened literally within the first few moments of this new Conquest that started. Furthermore, we got notified there's going to be a big community milestone event. People, let's get on our Conquest grind. I think we have a good chance at this, as we're going to talk about. They also notified us that the 10-year anniversary celebratory awards and just in general the party is going to be starting a little bit earlier this year. Lock in, people. Get your Jawa juice, obliterate the like, but whatever you got to do, let's get on to it. So before we talk about the community milestone event, before we talk about the 10-year anniversary awards and the celebratory stuff that's happening, very important updates. I want to make sure you guys know. I meant to make a video on this yesterday, couldn't get around to it. I pinned a comment, talked about it on stream, and I also posted on Discord. Today's your fourth notice. If you still aren't doing it, shame on all your pirates, because as we're going to talk about today, there's a much better way to go about the profit. I'm going to show my free-to-play account. You're not going to find, I don't think, any other guide out there, any other trick post doing this of level 1 pirates. So let's talk about these few changes. So literally within a few moments of the Conquest starting, pretty much all the guides, the posts, videos, whatever, became slightly irrelevant. I don't want to say irrelevant. They had a slight issue where we had all these data mine feats that everyone kind of bases off their planning, whether you make it individual plans or you kind of make, big plans like I do, for example, to share with others. The feats got a little swapped in the data mines. It's okay. It's a small issue. Data mines are for the most part accurate. It's accurate, but just slightly flipped around. Important to note, originally the data mines, all the stuff you've seen before, it showed buff immunity in Sector 1 and bonus turns in Sector 2. Flip it around. Bonus turns are in Sector 1 and buff immunity is now in Sector 2. And I have updated my graphics accordingly. I've let you guys know on Discord, the pinned comments as well. You can see it here with your bonus turns right there. Easy peasy. I knocked it out very simply on my free-to-play account with Darth Vader. I also used all the stagger stuff with Mara Jade, Krennic. Super easy to knock all that out. So very mild change, but I want to make sure you guys know. And also Sector 2, you can see the buff immunity there. I love this Gaslight, one of my favorite Conquest teams. Knocked out Daze and buff immunity so quickly with it. So just want to let you guys know, don't burn your energy doing buff immunity in Sector 1 when it's in Sector 2. Okay? Okay. So just the video itself won't be updated. This is your video updating that. So other thing to note, we were all hoping that Newt Gunray was going to work for profit. Unfortunately, it's probably bugged, not working as intended. Newt Gunray does not count towards the profit, even though he's the OG who got profit. So I made a note on the global feats here. Even so, doesn't matter. There should be no excuse, like I said in the video, for people to skip out on profit. I don't care if you don't have mods. I don't care if you don't have GL Hondo. Everyone, if you've been playing this year and you're a serious contender for Red Crate, for hard mode, you have Ithano. So I want to pull up my free-to-play account real quick. And literally, if I can do it on my free-to-play account, there is zero excuses for people to skip out on this unless maybe you missed the marquee event or you just don't have the will to play Conquest. And that I totally understand. So real quick, I want to just make the point home. I'm not using no relic pirates. Literally, my entire pirate faction, level 1. That's it. I got nothing else. All level 1 pirates. We're not doing anything fancy schmancy with it. Few ways of going about this. I'm going to show you a few things. Let me just actually first show you our global feats for the moment. And keep in mind, you don't need to win for the profit to count. So right now, it shows I have 0 profit. And not going to be a problem, though. So here's what I'd recommend. There's a few things to go on. If you are someone like my free-to-play account, you don't want to invest in pirates, you don't want to do the Zetas, the Kyrotechs, all that other stuff. You got better fish to fry out there. I know CG probably doesn't want to see this. Literally, at the very minimum, this is why I say there is absolutely no excuse to pass up on this. Just go ahead, and I should probably point this out. 2 important things to upgrade, and you don't need any Zetas for this. I took the Crimson Corsair. I upgraded it to the Omega level at level 8 here. So this is one way of getting profit on your team. The other thing that's incredibly important is Brutus. I actually overinvested in this here. On Mutineer, you only need the level 5 upgrade. Accent went to level 6. And here, this is important because he automatically gets 5 stacks of profit at the beginning if the ally in the leader slot is a Dark Side non-galactic legend pirate. which is Ithano, basically, or Silva, whatever you want to do here. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And again, I don't need the win. At the very minimum, I would say maybe do this towards your end of your conquest grind. Once you already passed all the sectors, you did all the other feats. Even if you don't have the next trick that we're going to talk about here, look, right here, we already got 5 stacks of profit on Brutus. So worst case scenario, look at that. We also got a stack of profit on Silvo. So Silvo's got profit. So right there, I got 7 stacks of profit. 1 from Ithano, 1 from Nest, and 5 from Brutus. So again, if you just want to take the super lazy route, you do not want to have to invest in these pirates at all. At the very end of the conquest, you do this, what, like 10 times or something like that towards the end, and you're going to easily knock this out. As you can see, we did not need to win. 7 stacks of profit. Now you could get a little fancy schmancy. This is what I was hoping to make a video on yesterday about the Ithano lead. Again, couldn't get around to it, but listen, now's the better time more than anything. Better late than never, whatever you want to say. This is kind of a trick in general. I always recommend to people. I know I gave a trick yesterday. Again, these are old conquest tricks. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. It's always important to find a node on every sector where the enemy only has single fire damage attacks. Luckily, they gave us one in Sector 1 as a boss. But generally, you want to find, for example, a good droid. A node that has, let's say, for example, do I have a Phoenix somewhere? Let's see. Sometimes there's that. A Phoenix with no Sabine, for example. Right? So that way you can kind of tuck your weak character that needs to survive behind the Jedi Master Luke taunt or something of that nature. Other thing to look for are like nodes that have Droideka, so you can try to farm a lot of debuffs on them. Droids that have Django with a Separatist lead, so he gets damage when you can farm off him. Kylo Ren unmasked, which I believe, is there one over here? Yeah, there's one right here, for example. So those are all good. But for now, we're going to be showing Seer Junda. And again, I'm not upgrading my team beyond what you're seeing right here. I already feel bad. I overinvested into Brutus. So this goes to an oldie but goldie. You technically don't need Jedi Master Luke for this, but you do need Wat Tambor, and you do need some sort of tank. I'm going to use Jedi Master Luke for a moment, but you saw a moment ago I was trying this out with Kylo Ren unmasked. Works just as fine, and we actually need one more pirate. Let's go throw in another pirate here. So this will allow you to at least survive a little bit longer. And again, here, you don't need any of these particular pirates. I don't need Silvo. I don't need Sana. I'm just going to throw in whatever pirates I have. And here's what you're going to do. Essentially, we're going to do is the same deal, but now we're going to have a durable taunting character, and this is not data disc dependent. I don't even know what my data discs are. Probably nothing special. I only did Sector 1 so far here. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead, whatever tank you use, whether Kylo Ren unmasked, Jedi Master Luke, throw the taunt tech over there, and he's just going to chill, right? He's going to guard all these weaklings that I have here. Throw on Blast Tech over on Ithano, and just basically at this point, just throw it on auto. Throw it on auto and let them farm for the next 10 minutes here. And that's one thing nice that they gave us a single fire damage dealing team on this sector, this mini boss here, because you have a long time. And normally you get like 5 minutes or whatever. And it's unfortunate Master Luke is a bit low on stamina. So I don't know, hopefully he survives long enough. Healing immunity kind of sucks with Jedi Training Ray. She's a jerk. What can I say? But anyways, as you can see, we already got more stacks of profit than before. We have 4 from Ithano, 5 from, what's his name, Brutus, and then 1 more from Silva over there. We're going to be farming a lot more off of this. So please, people, yes, it's unfortunate new gun ray not working as intended, whatever the situation might be, bugged out of his mind. Wouldn't surprise me. At this point here, there is literally no excuse to skip out on the profit feat. Same thing like I said in the initial Conquest guide. If you are going to skip out on the pirate feat, it might be the Sector 5 win with the full squad of pirates. And as you can see, I'm probably not going to be able to do that. So that means you can skip either that on Sector 5 or Profit. You don't want to skip out on the Sector 5 Profit. The Global Feat Profit. You'd be making a huge mistake. Basically free key cards right there. So while that runs in the background, I'll probably do a little fast forward mode so you can see how many profits I got towards the very end. I want to bring up the beautiful, beautiful post that we have on the actual Conquest milestone event, as well as plans for the 10-year anniversary. So go ahead, we'll hide this one. We'll come back in a little bit here. So they made an announcement also last night as Conquest started up that we have a big community Conquest milestone event and a 10-year anniversary celebratory shenanigans are going to be happening here soon. I want to just first say, you're probably going to hear me say this several times. We give Galaxers a lot of crap, and I'm giving them a lot of crap on this whole Relic Delta thing, even though they're going full force in it. And, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's just me being overly optimistic. I want to believe the 10-year anniversary awards are going to be good. Not just because it's 10 years, and that's a huge feat. not just for Star Wars games, but video games at large. A lot of games are lucky to just get a small window of opportunity, a month of viral recognition. 10 years? And it's, you could say, oh, it's because it's Star Wars, and partly true. I don't think I'd be playing this game as well as many of you guys if this wasn't a Star Wars game, right? There's better games out there, of course, but it's a Star Wars thing that drags us in here. But even though it's Star Wars, we see Star Wars Hunters, for example. It had the Star Wars IP attached to it. It barely made it a couple months. So we're going to probably give more props to CG, right? As we get closer to more of this stuff here. But I just want to put it out there. Big deal. So I want to imagine awards are going to be pretty darn good for this 10-year celebration here. And plus, of course, with Relic Delta on the horizon, they probably want to make sure people are happy. Yeah. So here we go. Hello, Holotable Heroes. I come to you with another milestone event, one of the beat up your bosses, as we start to ramp up our 10-year anniversary celebrations, which will be kicking off sooner than later. I still can't believe it's been 10 years. Yeah. I was there pretty much since I was there since month 2. I started in December. This game, I think, technically soft launched in October 2015, and then it launched in November 2015. So I was month 2 into all this. I want to throw another milestone together, different from what we're used to. Okay, now this is where things get kind of interesting. In order for us to hit all these milestones, we are not contributing energy spent. We're contributing bosses defeated. Well, I'll give you some loose math as to how this looks like here. So I believe normal, and this applies to normal and easy as well, but there's usually 2 bosses, right? You get the one right here at the end, and you get the mini boss. Generally, the lead is a boss, right? So about 2 bosses per sector. That means you're at minimum fighting your 10 bosses, right? That's just doing one pass. However, oftentimes you might be doing 2 times per boss, right? Because there's usually 2 feats that aren't always connected, right? So I'm going to do one for Kix, one for Jocasta Nu. Same thing down here. You need to do a Commander Luke solo, and then you got to do a shout out to the old days of the raids. My gosh, when raids were actually fun, unique, and all that. Let's not get too much into it. So realistically, you're fighting a boss. What is that? 4 times per sector potentially. Times 5, well, that's 20 bosses, right? So if we're gonna take this 1, 3, did I do the math right? Yeah, let's just pretend I got the math right on that. Divide that by 20. Worst case scenario, you need 65,000 people to just do one run of Conquest. Whether I'm guessing easy, normal is counted as well, and hard mode. That doesn't seem terribly bad. I don't know what the active player base is that engages in Conquest. I mean, my metric for Galaxy is to see how many people are actively playing. I look at the most recent marquee character. I'll check in after about a week. Forlom just ended, right? His marquee event ended. 307,000 units were unlocked. Now, of course, that doesn't always mean individually unique people, right? It could be people like me. I'm sure a lot of you other guys out there, you have a Forlom on your main account, Forlom on your free-to-play account. Some people have 2, 3, 4 personal accounts. But anyways, that's my gauge for how many people are actively playing the game. So we're asking for what, about a 20% of those people to just get through Conquest? It doesn't seem terribly bad. The only thing that's going to semi-suck, unlike farming energy, which you're doing no matter what, right? And especially people farm energy hard to farm their data disks, right? I don't know if people are going to be farming a boss node, right? It's going to be largely energy wasted once you're done at the core feats, unless you're trying to do cheesy things like I showed you today with the profit on, like, this sector boss node. But even so, you got to beat the boss, right? Maybe there'll be some people that'll farm the bosses out there, and that'll reduce the amount of people that need to actually fully complete a Sector 1 through Sector 5 Conquest run. So, I'm curious to see what this looks like. I guess at the very minimum, this will kind of give us a somewhat more interesting idea as to how many people engage in Conquest. So it doesn't sound horrible, at least from the loose numbers that I kind of put together. Anyways, let's get back over to the game and see where we are at with the beautiful profit feat. As you can see, all my pirate clowns are getting the job done still. I'm going to let this fast forward. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'll show you the final profit count. And then I hope all of you guys will be profiting this Conquest cycle. All right, super fast mode, begin! I just realized I terribly messed up something. There's one more ability to upgrade here. I'm going to show you what that ability is here in a moment. But there's an ability on Ithano's unique ability where he gets rid of the profit so he can gain more profit again. I forgot to remove that. But even so, where are we at with the profit now? We gained 15, whatever, I don't know how, we had 7 numbers, 16 stacks of profit, whatever we had. The problem is there's an ability you need to upgrade. My gosh, listen, you guys know I'm an idiot. We don't even really explain that. That's just kind of given at this point. Please make sure on top of the other abilities that I told you to upgrade. Again, you don't need any Zetas or Omegas. I thought I had an upgrade already. I did not. Ithano's unique ability, I don't die so easily. I believe it's on, yes, it's on the level 4 here. Whenever Ithano uses the special ability and has at least 4 stacks of profit, he removes the stacks and deals bonus true damage. So he's going to be able to get more ways of getting rid of profit and gaining it so he can get a lot more stacks. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll this one more time so you can see us go from 23 stacks of profit for the global feat, and we'll see what we have again. Oh, gosh. All right. I will see you guys again in a split second. All right, now I think we're on the right track here. I'm glad I was able to show you guys that extra step because, yeah, you're going to miss out on quite a lot more profit. Let's go to our event feeds, and now we go to our profit looking at 89. So, big difference, yeah? Much bigger difference. So again, Ithano lead, max out, you will need an Omega. His unique ability, take it to level 4 so he can kind of rinse and repeat the profit. Brutus, take it to level 5, whatever it was, where he starts off the battle with some profit on top of that. Super easy. Again, there are only 2 acceptable reasons why you will not get profit this season, because I don't think you're going to find many other things out there that could knock out a feat like this with literally level 1 character. This might be the lowest guide on how to do this. The only reason not to do it is, number 1, you hated the Pirates so much you didn't even do their marquee event, or number 2, you just don't have the will to play Conquest. Other than that, super easy. If you don't have Jedi Master Luke, there are other tanks you can put in his place, like Kylo Ren and whatnot. Just they might not survive as long to let you cheese it for 10 straight minutes. But otherwise, super easy, my friends. Maybe don't be as cheeky as me. Maybe upgrade him a little bit. You know, put some mods on him so he's faster, therefore takes more turns. I'm not going to do it, though. I already basically maxed it out. But anyways, hope this helps you out. This is your 4th notification on this. So hopefully the message has been loud and clear. Best of luck this Conquest cycle. Can't wait till we can unlock the Stranger, and I can't wait to see us knock out that community milestone event, and more importantly, hope those 10-year anniversary celebratory shenanigans are going to be pretty darn good. But, you know, it might be good there. Let me tell you, it's great to be in the Empire today. Great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.